sorry. This is going along a lot faster than I thought it would. Hi everybody, I'm Brent McLean. I'm founder of McLean Research and the Chief Portfolio Manager here. Been in the business since 1978, right out of business school, and I've been in the investment business ever since and love it to this day. We only buy companies that have consistently visible, growing, recurring cash flow, trading at a reasonable price, that are well financed. We call it the disciplined compounder method. It's our proven trademarked approach that has consistently outperformed the market over time. Have a defined process and take every investment through that defined process to determine if it really is truly the investment that you want and it's going to give you the performance that you need. And that's it. What I call the three don'ts. First don't is don't fight the Fed. When the Fed is raising interest rates, get out of the way. Raise some cash in your portfolio. The second don't is don't fight the trend. When a stock is broken, it's long-term uptrend, get out of the way. The third thing is, a lot of times that happens when you're trying to catch a falling knife because they report poor earnings and the stock goes down a lot. Never try to catch a falling knife, and you'll see that in this chart with Dollar General. There's a lot of noise out there, as we all know, especially with the internet and all these sites like Reddit, and a lot of it is misinformation. So the way that we focus on what matters is to focus on the only two things that matter for stock prices in the long run, and that is earnings and interest rates. We are looking for companies that can increase their earnings on a consistently visible, growing basis, and the second one is we want to have interest rates in our favor. Lower interest rates are better than higher interest rates from a valuation perspective. You know what? If I knew where the market was going to be tomorrow, I wouldn't be sitting here today, and nor would any other investor for that matter. And over the last 47 years as I've been in this business, I've met lots of wealthy investors, but I've never met lots of wealthy traders. Mostly because what you win today, you tend to lose tomorrow as a trader. To find companies whose earnings growth rate is much faster than the rest of the market, the average stock in the market, and whereby it's reasonably priced. In other words, if it's growing its earnings at 20% compared to the market at 10% and trading at market multiple, that's a great buy. And I can't tell you how many times I wasted my time chasing cyclical stocks, trying to find a bottom and trade them up to the top. It just doesn't work because your timing is off most of the time. Balance sheet strength is important for us all of the time, not just economic downturns, but they become critical in downturns because that's when cash flow gets squeezed. So if you've got way too much debt at that point, you're in trouble. So always buy companies that are well financed, and a lot of our companies are self-financed. They don't have any debt. In fact, they have net cash, and that's what we prefer. Very simply, we're all going to be wrong from time to time. And it's important to recognize that because if we don't, we're going to ride these things down to next to nothing. And when you're wrong, admit it early and move on. It's that simple. You know, it's important to recognize what you're really good at and only do that. And I'm not very good at most things, and that's why I need to have a team of people around me that can pick up all of the things that I'm not good at, but they're very good at, and therefore as a team, we can act very strongly and visibly and grow the business. The number one thing that I think is really important for everybody is to have a passion outside of the business. So for me, that's skiing as an example. I love to go skiing. I have a group of guys I go skiing with all the time. They're always different. We always have a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and I'm not thinking about the business when I'm skiing down through the trees. I wish you luck with your investing, and there's more to it than luck. We all know that. Remember, follow your process. Determine a process and follow it, and you will be wildly successful. Thanks again.